Daniel, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I really am looking forward to talk to you about all of the cool things we're doing. But before getting into anything, I would just like you to introduce yourself. Tell us a few things about yourself.
So, as we were talking, I'm a software developer. I work in the technology landscape, but I play in all sorts of different projects I have. So that's why I start having my interest in people. I work a lot with education. So I have this company related to technology. I have another company related to training and education. But this is me. I'm a tech person. I love to learn about the nature of work. That could be one thing why I
Nature of work. I have to write this one
sort of connect me to the whole thing. Like I like to understand why people do what they do.
down. I'm also very passionate about the why. So if we're
Yeah.
there, I just need to make a short mention. You're from Brazil, right? So we know
Yeah.
where the trends are coming from. And actually, I'm very curious if we're talking about the why, then why does a software developer gets interested in HR and pay attention, he becomes a chief heart officer? Because like it's a long way. So how
It's a
did
long
that
way,
happen?
and it was the longest job description I have ever wrote. Let me explain that to you. So, um, I'm one of the owners of this company called You Move Me, and I'm playing in this company since 2009. And beginning of 2017, I have decided to, I want to do something else for a couple of years or maybe 3 years, and I will come back later.
Mhm.
That was the plan. And after I was away for a year and a year and a half, most, I start talking again with my partner, and we are starting. Okay, so when are you going to come back? Oh, we'll come back. But okay, but when? I'm not sure when. But let's think about what can I do? How can I work work with the company to do something new? And one of my principles is that I want to become useless in everything I do.
I have the same thing, like build a
So
team and be no longer needed. That's the best way of
yeah.
doing so.
So the first time I was the chief technology officer, I was the CTO. So I'm going to come back, but I can't be the CEO, the CTO again. And I don't want to be the CEO. You are the CEO. I was talking to my partner about that. And so what you want to do? So you know what? I want to be the chief heart officer. And he was like, a what? What? And the chief heart officer is there's a person called Claude Silver. If you get a chance to talk to her, I'm still trying. I will make it. If I make it, I will ask for her
I
to talk to you.
don't stalk her till she talks to us.
And if she talks to you first, you ask her to
I
talk to
would
me too.
recommend it to you.
But the thing is, so she became the chief heart officer of a company called VaynerMedia. And the description of her process was like, people need people that care. And I was like, no, I care about people. I care about why they are doing what they are doing, why their system. We need something easier. Like the management process should be easier. So back in since 2004, I started learning more about systems.
Hmm.
So Toyota, lean thinking, theory of constraints. I started getting into these subjects, and the agile methodologies came 1 year before that, 2003.
Mhm.
Was the time when I started finding about agile, and I was like, okay, but this agile thing here, this is not new, can't be new. Where this came from? And that's why I start learning more about these other subjects. And when I see someone working, I I can see the journey.
Mhm.
And and when I see someone doing something that's not you are wasting your time doing something that you should not be doing, or there may be some new way to do that. Why are you still doing that? And this comes to me because i'm I may be one of the most lazy persons alive. I think so. That's how I like to see myself.
You haven't met my
The
daughter.
lazy the lazy thing is like the useless thing. Like I want to be useless. Not actually. I want to make sure people know what I know so I can do something new.
Mhm.
That's the process. And the thing about the lazy thing is that I don't want to get so much time doing this because this is not the most important thing about the subject, the problem is not here. So um, I want to find tools, I want to find ways to automate my work, I want to find ways to get agreements about what are we trying to get done here,
What are
and
we trying to achieve? Yeah.
how can we be transparent, how can we be open to conversation, because sometimes we start building masks. I know right now I have to wear a mask to go on the streets, but we have lots of masks. Now, how can I take them out? How can I be myself? So this is one question I do a lot. Since when you're able to be yourself when you are working? No, I can't be myself when I'm working because I work in this company where I have to fit in the
Mhm.
culture. Fit? You should belong. That's one thing. I was reading a book from Brené Brown, and the book was about parenting. And I was reading the book, thinking about my kids, and I was like, no, you should belong. You should not fit. And I was like,
Or
yeah,
that.
we should belong. How can I belong to something? How can I belong to a company, to a community, to feel part of this process? And this is a tough question, like because when you start thinking about this, you may start figuring out, oh, I don't belong here, and what you do next,
Yeah, you
because
might
you
actually realize that that's not what you
you know
want.
but and you may have lots of bills to pay. How can you drop everything to find a place where you belong? So it is a process, like you want to know, but sometimes maybe you don't want to figure that out so fast, like okay. So these were my questions to start becoming this. Oh, okay, so here's is where I want to play. So
Mhm.
if you look at You Move Me is a company about 70 people. Okay, so we don't have 100 people yet,
Mhm.
but how can I grow the company having a strong foundation?
Hmm.
And that's when the chief heart officer comes alive. Like, you know what? I'm gonna put me inside the problem.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be the problem. So that was the foundation about thinking about why I want to be the chief heart officer. I not exactly want to be the HR person,
Okay.
but I want to make sure that I'm touching every possible person inside the company. I'm able to see what's happening. I'm able, so I can be reached. I need you to listen to me, Daniel. Okay, let's talk.
I'm
Let me
listening.
try to help you. Maybe I can help you, but I can't send you to someone else who can help you. I want to understand the whole system. So I already knew a lot about uh, support, about customer satisfaction, about something about sales, a little bit about marketing, a little bit about management, technology. Okay, I'm okay. I can embrace different projects and try to learn from them. So
Especially when at the core of all these projects is the person, the human being.
yeah.
And if you have this that just goes into every single thing you're doing and that's your focus, then everything just falls into place. Wow, so that's how you get from software development to being a chief heart officer, by trying to understand the nature of work. And I would wish that, I don't know, there's a fairy godmother that assists every single birth in the universe, and she says like, from now on, you will always think of why you want to work, because I think that's the only thing we're not doing. We're super into 9 to 5 jobs because we have to, because we have to pay bills, and at some point it doesn't even, we don't even bother to ask ourselves like, am I happy in this job? We're just looking at
Yeah.
the fact that we're getting the paycheck. We're happy that our manager didn't, I don't know, hasn't been mean to us today. And we get to this point where I meet a lot of my clients at coaching, burnout, depression at 35, 40, when I don't understand why I'm not happy. I did everything that was in the book, and none of them was what they really wanted. So how do how do we create cultures that make people feel like they belong? Because I understand this. The person, it's not the individual, in fact, yeah, it's not very connected to who he is. It's the world we're living. There's no schooling system, or at least none that I know of in Romania for sure, that teaches you, hey, you are the center of the universe. It's all about you. So you have to think of yourself first and then of all the others. I haven't heard any school that puts this light on us. And then we go into work. And then we start going into the hustle that's called life. And we simply go to a job without the right standards. So we have all these individuals that are not connected to themselves. And it's a handicap that the universe, the world has. How do we create cultures that help them focus on themselves so that the company can benefit from it in the end?
Yeah. I started learning more about neurolinguistics because I wanted to understand more about me.
Oh,
So I wanted to understand, how do I change? Why do I change? So it all starts, like you said, it starts with us.
yeah.
So I started to understand all my triggers. How do I get angry? How do I get calm? How do I make myself to have more patience about what's happening?
How do I get
Um,
motivated?
yeah, am
That's a
I?
question I get a lot.
I'm feeling anxious about something. Okay, I feel it. All right, I'm feeling it. Okay, that's cool. Let's live with this little bit. Let me understand what's happening inside me here. So
Mhm.
one of the things I'm interested, not only when you know about the journey, about the systems, is about what are you doing in the system? What are your responsibilities in the system? How are you playing the game? Oh, I don't want to feel responsible for that, but why are you doing it if you're not responsible for it? How can you take responsibility apart about of what you do? I do something, but I'm not responsible. I don't get it. I don't get that. So I I start trying to understand more about me. I start trying to understand more about the process of how do I change behavior. And we change behavior maybe because we are teaching something new to people, and maybe after that they can find their identity about what they are doing. Why am I doing here in this place? Why am I doing this conversation? Why am I doing one specific project? So those questions, they were good to me because they helped me understand, like, okay, we see lots of techniques about how do we teach things to people. Oh, if you're using Zoom, you can use the breakout rooms and you can do different stuff and all that. That's cool. That's different techniques about how do we teach things to people. But the question I'm interested is, how do we learn? What are different ways for us to learn? Because I see most companies trying to get this, oh, here's a checklist about things you need to learn. But
Knock yourself out.
I don't even know if I want to learn that. Actually, I don't even know what the problem I have right now is. Help me understand my problem. You're giving me solutions. That's cool, but can you help me understand the problem? Because next year we're going to sit the same way and you're going to hand me a new checklist about things I need to learn this year. Can we stop this? Because this is the cycle we get since the school.
Yep.
Here, you need to learn about this. Here, now you have to learn about this. No, you can't do that. Oh, you got to do that. So how can we make people more autonomous? Like, I want to go there. What do I need to learn to go there? So when you start thinking about projects, and I see myself learning using projects, the basketball thing
Mm-hmm.
became a company after it was just a side project
Nice.
of me, Daniel. I want to play basketball better, but it was very expensive. So I was like, can I bring someone else to train with me? Oh, yeah, you can. Okay, cool. Um, can I split the money? And what's gonna happen? And
Uh-huh.
yeah, and then I got the first class. I was like,
Good.
this kind of, you do have an extra hour to do another class or stuff like that. I was talking to the teacher that became my partner in this business, and he was like, yeah, have another space, we can schedule something. So okay, I'm going to try to find a new class. And then we start doing that, because that was me leaving the problem, trying to understand what do I need to learn from this, building a community, finding people with the same problem. But now let's go inside a company.
Mm-hmm.
I am inside You Move Me. I have more than 50 people around me. What do I want to learn? Maybe what I need to learn is something that other people want to learn. Can we make a study group?
Mm.
Can we call someone to help us to drive this knowledge inside the company? Can we sign up for a course and maybe we can create this knowledge? But the way I see these things, like how can I make this become more emergent? Like people are saying what they are looking for,
Mm-hmm.
and me as a company, I can tell them, okay, that's cool. You want to know more about project management? That's very important in your role. This is actually mandatory. You have to understand more about how to manage projects. That's nice. I have to get you a mentor. I'm gonna get you one specific course about project management, or those are things we can make happen if we are able to listen to people about but listen to people is not something scalable. You can build a form and people can answer. You can do those things, but that's not the real question you are trying to make there. It's after the person finishes, oh, I want to learn this, and you ask, why?
I also like this one because I see in the performance reviews in Romania, it kind of goes like this. We have yearly performance reviews in most organizations, which I honestly think they're obsolete and they should be dropped. They just don't make any sense anymore. But I see that people get from their managers some suggestions of what they should learn to do their job better, but nobody looks into the people and actually listens and asks them, in fact, do you even want this job? What's in it for you if you do this job apart from salary and okay, making a living? I understand that. Nobody asks the person, like, what do you want to get better at? And that then next year when we have the performance review, oh, I gave you all those things to learn, but you just didn't, you're not getting any better.
Could be even worse. You could get to the person and say, oh, you're not good at this, you need to get
Oh,
better.
yeah,
Why?
yeah.
Why? you know um, i have I don't have a good time playing with budgets, manage budgets. That's not something that it's not related to Daniel, like
You either.
so so I need someone who knows how to manage budgets working with me, and that's what I need. So I don't want to be an expert in budget management. I don't want to be that person. but I can have someone who can play with me. But I want to be the best person available to help someone to drive their knowledge. I want to be the best person available to help them to create a new project. Oh, you want to do something? Oh, you want to build a side project? I'm going to make that happen
Yeah.
because I can help you. I can help you to do that. So the thing for me is, how can we make, I have 5 abilities and I want to make them better, all 5. Oh, that's nice. But I have these other 5 here and I don't care about them. And they're going to say, that's cool too. That's cool because you don't actually need them to do your job. I'm
Mhm.
okay with that. But usually we are always, oh, you have to get better because you have to be better in everything. No, we don't.
I don't understand this either. Why do we have to play on our weaknesses when we can actually play on our strengths? I mean, it's
Yeah.
such a waste of time to just put people get better at something they don't even care about. That's
Yeah.
and then you ask yourself, why aren't they engaged? Where's the
Mhm.
motivation? I wonder, where is it? Gone down the drain.
And then you can start playing with the agile in the HR world. If you go look at this sort of thing, like if you are trying to play with agile methodologies, we are saying that you are trying to understand more about your system.
Mm-hmm.
You are trying to understand what is value being created. Oh, if you are doing something that is valuable, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, something valuable is something that the company can raise more money, or we can increase the satisfaction of our customers or people. Okay, nice. So if I'm going to prioritize something, needs to come across the system and have to generate that sort of a feeling or result. So okay, so we're going to plan things to do that. If you play with Agile, the annual review gets exposed. Like, but we are playing in short iterations. We are getting better every week or cycle. You decide the size of the cycle, or even no cycle. I'm going to do replenishments as we need. So we need more work. Okay, here's more work. We need more stuff to get more problems. Okay, here are more problems. but but when you start thinking about short cycles and you do your review and you want to get better, you want to understand why you need to get better or how can we get better. um, those annual reviews don't come together like okay, but why do I need to get better weekly? But you only check if I'm getting better
A
annually.
year. Yeah, they don't make much sense. I
Doesn't
agree.
make any sense. Like and even worse, sometimes the annual review comes together with some sort of extra payment. You can get a raise after the annual review. It's even worse. The money should not be together with you getting better, because I'm getting better. Okay, that's fine, but I don't need more money right now. But maybe I can get more responsibilities, and maybe then you can get me a raise or something like that. But usually companies put together the annual review and the raising process, money raise process. I think that's a big part of the problem, why
Counterproductive.
companies, they are unable to change or something like that. Yeah.
Uh, and if we mentioned agile in HR, and you said you're working with agile methodology for quite some time now, I think there are a few companies in Romania that work with agile even in the HR area. But if we were to extract top 3 tips of advice for an HR to become more agile at what he does, even if the company doesn't work in an agile methodology, you can still practice some stuff, take some tips of advice. What would be those top 3 you would give to HRs all over Romania to start doing from tomorrow?
Yeah, I would tell people to read more about systems thinking. And if you want to listen to only one person, would be someone called Donella Meadows.
Hmm.
She passed away years ago, but her work is awesome, and it is related to systems thinking.
Mhm.
So you can even say, I'm not going to teach you about agile. No, no agile words here. Just gonna tell you about systems. Let's do that. So um, if you understand about how your system works, you're gonna try to understand about the cues you have in your system, all the gatekeepers you have when you're trying to get something done. So sometimes you want to start a new project. Oh, I can't. Why? Oh, because there's only one person who approves new projects, and she only listens to us once a year. Okay, there's your problem. You have someone. First of all, you have someone to listen only once a year, and
Right
you have
there.
someone say you can't do a first step. So the way I see about new projects, new initiatives, I tell people that's cool. You know what's your first step? Yes, I know. Do it. Do your first step. After you do your first step, we can talk
Talk
about the
about
project and see how is it going. But after that, most of the times there is no second step because people do the first step. This is not the problem. Let me go back and try to work again on the problem because this is not the problem. I did the first step and the problem is not here. I thought it was, but it's not here. But if you don't let people do the first step, they're gonna tell you are the gatekeeper. You don't let them try new things. Yeah, I can help you try new things. You want a space to learn? Okay, get 2 hours a week. You need 4 hours? Get 4 hours a week to study. That's
mm,
cool.
and
What's the
I have
value
to
you're gonna?
apply for a job in your company. It sounds like
But
a great
but you
culture.
know what happens? You know what happens? Even if you give, if you write on the wall, you can take 4 hours a week to learn something related to work. People don't do it.
I know.
And why they don't do it? Because of the schools, because of the school system, because they are expecting to be directed. Oh, you go this way right now. Oh, thank you, Daniel.
No.
And we need to change this process. Like, where do you want to go? The company wants to go here. What can you do to make the company go there faster?
Mhm.
What can you do to make sure the company is not going to lose anything along the way? Because you may want to increase your customers, but you cannot lose customers because it's not going to help, you know. So it's about the system. How can you make the system to be sustainable? So three things about the HR stuff. First, learn about the whole system. Try to extract the whole system, draw it. Where are the gatekeepers? What are people trying to do and they're not being able to do? So you're gonna learn that about from interviews. You're gonna learn that just observing the work. That's one thing. Second thing, um, start to have small problems to make them better. Let's solve the little problems. Let's start solving problems using some sort of a structure of a retrospective.
Mhm.
So we're gonna learn, oh, we have this problem, we have to make it better. What works, what doesn't work? If this doesn't work, how can we change? How can we test it?
Mhm.
How can we make sure this is working right now? So little short cycles about improvement. So you do some sort of reflection, you get one problem and you try to solve that small problem. This
Right.
ability to solve small problems is going to start to create an environment where people, oh yeah, we can solve things, we can get some problems and solve
Give
them.
positive
we
vibe. Yeah.
can we can create knowledge here, we can document what we do, we can make sure new people come on board and they are able to continue doing small improvements. So after you are able to do that operationally, and this you can do in the department way without no one knowing about, because you can start solving local problems. It's not the best. You should solve problems that are system-wide problems that you can solve it and the benefit is going to the whole company. But most of the times you have local problems, things that happen inside of one team. But if you solve it, it's cool because they can do their job better. So it's already happening. So you can start creating this process of improvement in small teams, and you're gonna grow it to the company.
Nice.
After you're doing that, you can start figuring out about some tactical or even in strategy about how you're going to play with improvements of new work, or thinking about company strategy, you know. And not only, oh, we want to raise more money next year with new customers. Yeah, okay, but what else, what we are going to do as a company? Maybe you want to become a big company. You want to have some social impact. You want to have some positive impact. What you're going to do? So those things start to come along, and you can get your team to work on those initiatives. So let's get back to that person that wants to know more about project management.
Okay.
And maybe they are in a spot where they don't actually have this sort of a project management need, but this person can lead a new initiative in the company where they can become and be the role of a project manager. So they can create that ability doing something extra using those 4 hours we gave them.
Mhm.
So maybe you can get people to learn about new stuff doing projects that are not exactly related to where they are, but are good for the company and good for them. They have a reality to play with, because learning, at least for me, learning is for me is about doing. I need to do. I need to create a project where I do stuff and I learn from it. And after I learn from it, I do new stuff. But I need to be in real life. That's why when I learn about agile methodologies, I was like, yeah, that's me.
That's the thing I have to
Because
do.
I'm always iterating. I'm always learning about what's happening and how can I do better. And the document thing, and I didn't talk about that specifically, but this is very important. And this can become just building mind maps or having your notebooks to write stuff. And I have two notebooks. Like this one is related to things I do daily, but this one, it's my morning pages. I do like I
Nice.
write some stuff, what's happening inside my head.
Take it out.
And I can tell you that initiatives comes up after I write things in here, because I start writing and say, oh, this could become something. This could be a new project.
So that's
Ooh.
your idea book, in fact.
Yeah, but you don't know it until you write it,
Yep.
because it comes after. You grab one thing you wrote yesterday with one thing you wrote last week, and whoa, I can put those together and I have a new thing coming up.
Nice.
So
So
yeah.
we have some super advice to become a bit more agile in working as HR. And I think from what you've said, it's not just for HR, it's kind of for any department in the
Everything.
world. But I
Yeah.
really hope HR is going to get into it. And I have one more question for you, and I'm done. I saw on your LinkedIn when I was looking at your profile. Of course, I got super attracted by the chief of heart officer, and then I started looking up on it, and I noticed that you say something like, I use design thinking, lean thinking, agile methodologies, neuro linguistic programming, I think. And then there was something about non-violent communication. And I'm like, I think I want to know a bit more. I kind of understand what it could mean, but I think I want a bit more from you.
Yeah. You know that I did this whole formation, different sorts of courses and universities related to um, neurolinguistics programming. And I learned lots of things in there. How to communicate, how do you get rapport so you can interact with people, and maybe you start doing some sort of a persuasion process. And I don't like that, but you learn about those things. Okay, so but I always thought about those things like a little bit of a robotic thing, like, oh, let me put in this spot. So Android is looking like that. So I'm gonna just look like her here. I mean, how can I get in touch with you so we can get a real conversation and you can listen to me? And if you are not able to understand what I'm saying to you, you're gonna ask me what is not clear. And then I can explain to you what's happening because I trust you. I know you're not going to use my words against me. You are there because I trust you and you are there to listen to me. So, um, and then I learned about nonviolent communication. So the person related is Marshall Rosenberg. He passed away a couple of years, 4 years ago, I think. And Marshall, you can find some of his trainings available on YouTube, and you can see him playing. Um, the nonviolent communication process started to help people communicate when, imagine the United States living the highest possible situation about racism and people being apart.
Yep.
So the nonviolent communication process start being able to get those people to talk to each other and get together. So this is the, and the non-violence. The thing is the non-violence. And when you think about non-violence is anything that's not violent. So it's the communication about anything that is not violent. That how you can read the term non-violent communication. It's about how we communicate without violence, or with using things that are not violent. But let me get back to, I'm talking to you and I feel angry and I'm like furious about something, but I trust you and you trust me and you are here to listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't mean I can express myself being angry or furious,
Mm-hmm.
but that's how I'm feeling. And how can you help me to get new questions to help me understand what's passing inside me, so you can be able to observe what's happening to me? You may want to ask me, Daniel, what is the feeling you have there? I'm angry. Okay, but try to express more about that. What is inside that angry? What is happening there? um, and then you can try to help me understand what is the need, because there is a need. I'm
Yeah.
not having my need fulfilled, and so that's why I'm raging and
Angry.
all this.
Being angry, in fact, it's a symptom of the fact that one of your needs is not met.
Yeah, yeah. And the last part is the most important one. It's how can I make a request, maybe for myself?
Mm-hmm.
If I can observe what's happening, I have this feeling, I have this need. What is the request I have for myself to be different, or to maybe do something different about what's happening right now? And maybe it's the way we can communicate with each other, like, Andrea, I'm seeing that you're feeling like this, and
So
but
acknowledge how the person feels. You
yeah.
acknowledge it. You don't dismiss it. Like, this is
Mm-mm.
no big deal. Why are you overreacting?
No, you can't, because it's my feeling, it's not yours. You're not able to feel what I feel. Oh, I know what you're feeling. This is the worst thing we can tell someone else.
Oh yeah, we think it's empathy, but it's not. It's
It's not empathy.
it's sympathy.
Oh, I've been there. I've been there. It's bad, isn't it?
It is. I know how it feels. No, you don't. It's totally different for each and every one of
You
us.
don't.
But
Yeah.
when I hear you talking about these things, I'm
But one thing.
please.
But you can ask the person, would you like to listen to a story I have, about a time where I felt a lot angry about something? You want to hear a story? Like you're not trying to compare. You're
Yeah.
just sharing a story.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the person, yeah,
Maybe it's going to
you
be
can share.
relatable.
I would like to understand how you handle with the process of, okay,
Maybe I
but
can be inspired.
you ask for permission there,
Hmm.
because most of the times when I'm trying using this listening mode, I'm just listening,
Hmm.
and that is
No
cool. And
reaction.
maybe no reaction and no need to judge what's happening there. This is very tough. Actually, is the most difficult thing for at least for me. It is, oh, I have an opinion. I have an opinion. You
Now
know.
that you're talking about it, I didn't know what it meant, but I realized I have been doing it because in my HR job, I had a situation where I had to fire like 100 people in one day. So you can imagine the amount of anger those people had towards me because I was the messenger bringing bad news. So my shout out to all the HR people out there. Search a little bit more about nonviolent communication, try to understand emotional intelligence, and see how you can handle tough situations because to HR, you really get a lot of it. Like you can have angry employees that just run into your office. You can have a manager that doesn't get along with his team, or you might be in the situation where you have to
And
fire a lot of people.
yeah, and here's one thing: you cannot tell me that you're firing one people, one person. Maybe it's 10, but it's one, and you are okay with that.
No, it's torment. I couldn't sleep for weeks when I did it. Oh, it was the most
And
terrible moments of my life.
the cool thing about playing with nonviolent communication is, who is part of my network, because I need someone to listen to me today.
Okay, nice.
Maybe you have a psychologist that helps you. I have mine,
Therapist.
but it's
God
not
bless
enough. It's not enough. We may need more people to listen to us. Maybe not all subjects, but I have these three people I have, and we have this agreement. Every time I need to, to tell them about my work, they're there to listen to me. Maybe I have two other people that we share our thoughts and experiences about kids.
them.
Maybe, you know, you can, but you have to build your networks.
Mhm.
Because if you tell me that, yeah, I fire people and I'm cool, I just go grab a beer and I'm done. No, you're not.
So
You're
we have
not.
a LinkedIn network, we have a Facebook network, but we also need a listening network. That's a cool one. I'm writing it down.
But having the listening network is not enough. You
What
have to activate the listening network.
else?
It's cool that you have like 100 people available to listen to other people, but what is the agreement?
So you need an agreement in it.
When
Oh.
someone asks in the group, I need someone to listen to me, I have to talk because just this just happened and I'm bad and I need someone to listen to me. What is the
I love
agreement?
this. Sounds awesome.
What is the agreement? Who's one person, two-person, three-person? The first one comes up. If no one comes up after 10 minutes, who goes?
Hmm.
What is the agreement of the group? So you have to have this sort of agreement available, because otherwise it's Daniel asking, no one's helped me.
Yep.
So what's there?
Wow, that's so precious. Thank you so much. I've literally gone like 3 pages of notes. I feel like I'm in school, but it's the HR school of Romania, so it actually makes sense. I am so looking forward to pass this on further to a lot of people. Daniel, this has been super useful to me. I want to thank you once again for your time, and I'm sorry for you, but I realized we have so much more to talk about. So there's gonna probably
Yeah,
be more invites from
not at all, not at all. You hit me
so
up, we can get new calls and share
that would be
knowledge, and I
great.
have lots of stories,
I
so
can see
I'd
that.
love to share them, because
That's,
most of them, I have lots of stories available in my YouTube channel, but it's in Portuguese, so
I
I'm,
tried, but it didn't work. I mean, I was like,
you know,
I wanted to watch your TED talk, and I think I understood a bit of the topic, and I was like, I think that's interesting, but I think I have to learn Portuguese.
Yeah, but we can schedule some space to talk, and we I can share some of those stories in English. Not a problem. And no, thank you for having me in this space, and you know, thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Awesome. Thank you a million.